This is the Anything But Banker to Broker podcast. We're going to be talking to some of the industry's best and brightest about the unique pathways they took before stepping into broking and how it set them up for success. Thanks for listening. Joining me today, we've got Emmanuel Marios. I'm sure I said that almost right. There's probably a Marios. That's how we would say it, I think, yeah. So he got a bit of not a unique one, but it's definitely an entrepreneurial story. Like he'll tell us about it himself. But to kick off, essentially, he was working in construction, wanted to become a broker. He was very young, very inexperienced, and no one wanted to take him. It's a story old as time, and he just was like, you know what, I back myself. There's no point in me going and trying to find a job. I quit my thing to do my thing. So let's get it kicking. He's now running Derwent Finance, which is based out of Hobart. You're obviously working nationally. You've got a good team over there. You do a lot of content marketing on TikTok, which I really like to see. So, mate, thank you for joining. Really good to chat.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it, Joe.
100%, mate. Did I cover everything off? I didn't cover everything off, but
yeah, you've hit the nail on the head, which is good. Thanks for the intro.
Nice one.
Yeah.
We talked off camera, right? I always like to ask everyone, what are your origins? What are your upbringing? I know there's a migrant story in there. We do love a migrant story sounding like this. Talk to me, mate. Like, what was childhood like and what did you see growing up?
My childhood was different. Like, I'm not going to say the sob story. My childhood was great. It was the best. My family, migrants, Greek heritage. My mother migrated to Australia when she was 17, married my father. He's got a Greek background as well. Did the whole thing, being Greek, fish and chip shops, corner shops and whatnot. Very, very busy people, that's for sure. But they did it to provide me and my sister the best upbringing. Went private schools and whatnot, had everything we had, which is great. But for any of the listeners who have that whole Greek background, as you know, when you leave the house, it's all on you. It's not running back to mummy and daddy to fix and provide you some support. But it was good. It was a good foundation because it really showed me what hard work can do to families. And I believe I follow the same tradition really for my family. Yeah. So
is it a Greek thing of like you kind of kicked out? Because I wasn't kicked out in a non-polite way, but it was like, go on now, like, go and figure shit out, go to uni, learn to do your own washing. You're 18 now, you know what I mean? Is that very much
to an extent, like my family background and traditionally speaking Greek background is like you can leave at home until you're 40 if you want to, but the minute you leave, there's no coming back. It's bye-bye. Like you got to do your own thing. And I didn't leave home until I was like 23, 24. I did it by choice. I wanted to obviously live with my life partner who I was with for almost 5 years, and wanted to do my own things. Yeah, it was the best experience that I've gone through. That's for sure.
So, yeah. Did mum and dad lived in Tassie, grew up in Tassie? Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. So dad was born in Tassie, like full Greek heritage there. He flew to Greece every summer, pretty much for holiday. Met my mum, and then imported her back into Australia in the most polite way possible. And then, yeah.
Was she off one of the islands? Was she mainland?
Yeah, no, islands. So my family's from an island called Astypalia, which is in one of the Vedokamissi islands. Population's like during winter, 1,500 people. But during summer, we're talking like 10, 20, 30,000 people. So it's a very touristy island, very tropical, very hot, very beautiful. If you've seen any Instagram photos of lovely Greece, there's a very good chance that you've probably seen Astypalia. But I was very fortunate growing up. My family worked very hard and we flew there every summer from like when I was from prep to almost to grade 12. So experiencing that culture has been great because it's very different to Australia. That's for sure.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be one of our destinations. Kos, Corfu, Crete. They're the three islands, the big ones that we go to. And I used to go to a little one called Sini as well. I don't know if you've ever
yep,
heard of that.
yep. I'm aware of
Yeah,
Sydney. Yeah,
I used to go to school. Sorry, with a lad who sounds very much like me, but he spent his whole life living over there. English family. Dad was in the army and that, and yeah, they just moved over there. But yeah, mate, it's a beautiful part of the world. It teaches you a
absolutely.
lot going there.
It does. It does. It's so different. Just the heritage is completely different to this country. Pros and cons over there, but there's nothing like Australia.
Yeah.
That's for
Yeah,
sure.
we are fortunate, mate. Like I've said this a lot to people, like not on here, but when I've been speaking, like, we talk about the cost of living and we're in a crisis, but it's like I started a business last year. I would never have done that in the UK. You know what I mean? Nobody would have supported it. Everyone would have tried to, mate, it's a terrible idea. Don't do this. The way the economy is, it's like, nah, you can give it a crack here and you could probably make it work. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fish and chip shops, are they still all kicking?
No, so they did that for probably a decade. And then after that, my father wanted to diversify to a completely different industry. So he got into commercial floor coverings, construction. So basically, his job was to organize flooring for hotels, hospitals, schools, anything on a larger scale. So he did that, and he's still doing it to today. And I actually worked there for quite a while before moving into the finance industry.
I
Yeah,
think, mate, you segued it yourself. It was a very good natural segue. So yeah, that's where you first started working. So
literally,
yeah,
literally finished school, went to university, lasted one semester. I said, "Screw this! I've been to school. I don't want to do this anymore." Um, Then I worked for my father, my parents for a few years. Went to a holiday in Greece actually, which was funny enough. And then I was laying on the beach and just randomly I turned to my dad and said, "Dad, I quit. I want to do my own thing. I want to start my own legacy. Like I love this industry. I love what it can provide for our family, but I want to do something a little bit different." So I literally jumped on a flight back to Australia and started in this industry with zero experience.
nice.
Yeah.
So with project management, it was like me in recruitment, right? It was you can only eat what's in front of you. It was the necessary. It made sense for you to do it realistically, right? Um, how long did you end up doing that in total?
I was doing that for close to 3 years.
Hmm.
What I really liked about the project management is managing team members and expectations as well. And I feel like it's very similar to what I do today. It's all a people's game, so communicating. So I was doing that. I was doing tenders, managing the team members in going to certain jobs throughout the week. Um, did a bit of sales as well, so actually selling the product to consumers. So I was doing that for quite a while.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And you obviously said to me before you tried to get a job, right? You were going out there trying to market yourself. How did you find that as someone who had no experience at the time?
Yeah, it was hard. How I landed in this industry was interesting. So I did have a family member who was in home lending at a bank. I like the idea of assisting families in getting home loans, and I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to give it a go. Like I'd say, like 20 different offices all got knocked back due to two reasons: one, no experience, and two, my age. And I was almost about to give up and say, you know what, this is probably not for me. I might just have to go and work for a bank for a period of time to earn my stripes and then try again. But I said, screw it. Let's just start from scratch. Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can only not work out right, realistically. Had you fled the nest at this point, or were you still living at home?
No, I was still living at home. So I was very fortunate that I had a roof over my head, but I did have a lot of debt under my name, and it was good. There
Hmm.
was property debt, but I didn't really think about it strategically before jumping out. only because I had quite a few investment properties, but they weren't all cash flow positive. So my pay had to cover the gap. But I jumped the gun without thinking straight and literally started this industry with less than $3,000 to my name. And it took me almost 6 months to get my first pay commission, thinking that I'd get in and make money from day one. But the
Yeah.
reality is definitely not like that.
Yeah, it's one of them, right? I don't recommend that to people these days, and the aggregators definitely don't.
Mhm.
But there are definitely some people that are in that position that are doing it and making it work as well. Like,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
absolutely. I'm one of those people that I've always said to my friends and family and colleagues, I never want to say what if. I
Hmm.
will always want to say I've tried it. So then it's just out of my mind. So I just bit the bullet and gave it a go. And the rest is history.
Hmm. And you learn a lesson both ways, right? If it doesn't work out, that's something you can take into the next endeavor, whatever it ends up being.
Absolutely. 100%. Oh, there was definitely some lonely nights where I had my partner in the office and I was like, I'm giving up. This is just so
Hmm.
hard. I'm doing everything. I'm getting up at X in the morning and finishing X at night. I'm doing this consistently and it's just not progressing where I want it to be. But just being consistent in regards to it was the key.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How has your experience shaped the way you assess and find people for the business now? Is it very much like we'll give people a shot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. It should
Um,
be.
yeah. So we've got quite a few brokers within the brand at the moment, in Tassie and interstate.
Hmm.
Every single person that has joined our business has had zero lending experience. And I know that's probably not the right way to go about it, but I feel like if you're a people's person, the lending side of things can be learnt. It's very hard to teach people to be a people's person. It's something that's naturally there with individual people. But
Mm,
on the banking and lending, that's teachable.
yeah.
Yeah.
My ethos is the same as well. Like any like the credits, and there's like I was saying to you when I thought I could be a broker, I'm not blowing smoke here. I feel like I maybe had that front end stuff generating and being there for people and being empathetic, right? You can't teach that. But the credit stuff, that's what you have to learn.
Yeah.
It's like you see a lot of people, and this is why I'm doing this podcast. You see a lot of people coming out of the bank that are used to having leads put on their dashboard and put in front of them, and they go, "Fuck, I don't know what to do here. I'm spinning it. I don't know where to find leads from." Right?
It's
What
so
does the
funny
credit
because
knowledge do there?
people say, "Oh, exited lenders and bankers are the best people to be brokers," and I like to an extent I agree, but I also disagree at the same time because a lot of the time when you're working for a bank, you get to work at 9 a.m. Your leads are there. A lot
Hmm.
of the time, you even didn't have to prospect and build relationships up. And I feel like if you know how to do that, you'll outperform anybody out there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
And the evidence is there as well, right? You know what I mean? I think aggregators look at it as being very low risk, right? If you have the credit knowledge, then it can't fail. But, you know, my experience working in the aggregator, it was those people a lot of the time that were really struggling to generate the leads.
Yes.
Um, they
Yeah.
get too hung up on what they see to be the ironclad non-competes,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
It
Absolutely.
is what it is. All right, so let's talk about Derwent, right? So day one, it's you in the business, your partner's supporting you
Hmm.
morally, or
Yeah.
is she supporting you with the business? Or are they supporting you with the business? Sorry.
Yeah, so I had a bit of a hiccup at the start. So before I started Doe, I actually started another company with somebody else,
Hmm.
and that was a stint for about um, 6 to 12 months. And the mistake was building a business with a friend. And you might be friends outside work, but with business, that's just not the way it should be a lot of the time. So I did that, and we both acknowledged, like, hey, let's just be mates and not do business together. So then after that, I started doing almost 10 years ago. Um, I actually started it with a colleague who's actually my BDM at my aggregator today.
Hmm.
So, James, big shout out to him. We started that, and my partner My life partner, Rihanna, joined probably about 1 or 2 years after that,
Hmm.
fully within the business. Started in a little small office in an industrial area. And I guess we're here today in 2025 in the heart of the city. Really,
Beautiful, man.
yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. And how did you find the scale up journey went? Like, were you, because I'm having these conversations with people at the moment where it's there two types of people: wait until it's busy and wait until I'm literally bogged down, hire, or hire as a strategic growth tool. Like, which did you do a bit of both throughout the years?
Yeah, so I've always been a person that always hires before I need to hire, get them in
Hmm.
now because I can see that in the next 6 to 12 months things are going to get busier and I want to make sure that they're ready and trained up and ready to go.
Hmm.
I haven't been somebody who just hires last minute once it gets busy, because it might get busy today, but tomorrow it might die. And I made a lot of those mistakes at the very start, where just relying on certain referral partners who are no longer in the business anymore and relying on them to obviously feed me, and um, obviously getting staff in early and training them up and doing everything naturally did make a huge difference within our
Hmm.
company on the growth stage. And I'd still say we're in the growth stage as of today as well.
You're fully off the tools now? Is that right?
Semi.
Semi off the
I
tools.
Semi. So I had a gap for about 12 months off the tools.
Hmm.
Um, I had an itch to get back in. Right now, I'm very strategic on the type of clients I like to take on.
Hmm.
Um, but a lot of the business that comes in within our company, we feed them out to our broker network. But I do the deals that come to my table and I want to deal with at the moment. Just a
Hmm.
select type of clientele. Yeah,
Is it
I
the
feel.
investors? I feel like I've read into it like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
investors,
Yeah.
self-employed, more the consumers that are entrepreneurial.
Hmm.
Only because I felt like if I got off the tools fully, I'll just get that itch again. I
Hmm.
feel like if you're going to be in this industry, you need to be involved in the lending side of things because it changes so much. Like policies changes, new banks come in, procedures change, and being an owner of a company like us to be able to be aware of all these changes, I feel like you need to be somewhat involved
Hmm.
within the day to day business.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing the crazy hours like I used to 2 years ago. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah,
Yeah, I see that being not a challenge, but a thing happening in the industry, right? As businesses start to scale, like the middle management in the business, for me, it's not that it's redundant, but I feel like everybody has a bit more of a part to play. You have an operations manager. I had the opportunity to listen to Rihanna speak at. She come and did that broker. It was the broker event for finance and coffee, and she coming down and
yes,
I think she was showing everyone basically like how you guys have been generating leads and the real power of TikTok. Obviously, subsequently since then, I've watched a lot of the stuff and like, it's good. It's very it's not hard work, but like you get what you need from it. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, I like to say to our team members within the company, and I say always, well, we're not a traditional mortgage broking company. I feel like we're a education slash marketing company that specializes in financial services. Um, we're not the whole traditional um, model. I feel we're different. We're trying to be unique, and we're trying to do things differently that
Hmm.
traditionally speaking that have been taught in our industry, and it does work. That's for sure.
I guess that's probably why you retain a certain ICP is because like that they're people who want a trusted advisor who can be coached and kind of are going to be receptive. Like we were saying before, right? When you build that face value, they're receptive to your feedback, and you know,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So early on, did you have any? This isn't working. I need to quit moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Um, To this day, like there's always thoughts that go through your mind. But during the early stages, I definitely had a lot of those times. And I feel like if I didn't have Brianna in my life, probably wouldn't be here.
Hmm.
Me and Ria are very yin and yang, two different people, that's for sure. And that works well in business, especially when they're your life partner and then
Hmm.
also your business partner and being together literally almost 24/7. It needs to be the perfect match. So Ree's really good. Like I remember one day, this is probably about 7 years ago, I was literally on the verge of just giving up, losing a referral partner. And Ree just said to me, like, Emmanuel, stop being a little bitch. Like, just keep doing this. And that saying just always pops up in my head. Like, we're
Hmm.
here for a reason. Look what we've created. Look at the team members, and just continue what you're doing. Really,
Hmm.
yeah.
Do you? I'm asking this because I sometimes find myself sunk by one minor bad thing where it's like, psh, and then you don't reward yourself for the millions of other good things. Do you kind of? Are you? Is that the way you kind of think sometimes as well?
Yeah, there's a bit of a saying, I'm never happy enough, but
Hmm.
sometimes you just got to really reflect from where you've been at the start versus where you are now. Once you understand what you've done and having so many different people that are working within the company, it really reminds you how special it is. That's for sure. Not due to like the volume that we write, but just little things like how many PAYG staff or how many contractors are. Like they are relying on us to put food on the table, and that's pretty amazing to hear and see. Like they're here because our business is doing so well. But it's definitely a reminder. That's for sure. Yeah,
That's it. Like, you can look at it from two ends of the spectrum, right? For me, I put someone in a job. For you, I write alone, right? On the other end, if you look at it, I'm actually changing someone's life here. You know what I mean?
literally.
You just have to change the way the perception and the way you look at things. So you've run through a few of these moments. Like, when was the first time you sat there and went, "Do you know what? I am in the right industry. I do definitely belong."
Um, the first time that I felt that way was really weird. It was the time that it gone back to my family. My dad's
Hmm.
like very blunt and very strict Greek guy. He never, ever, ever, ever told me that he was proud of me. But the day that I won the Better Business Finance Broker of the Year in 2022, um, I took a photo and sent it to my dad, and my dad like never replies in text messages, and he said, "I'm proud of you." When I got that, that was like the aha moment. Like, wow, if he's saying that to me, can only imagine what everyone else thinks about it. So that was the day. Yeah,
And I feel like that right. The never saying he's proud of you is not because he's not. It's because he doesn't ever want you to be complacent.
correct.
Is that it? Yeah,
100%. Like to
it
this
sounds
day,
about right.
100% to this day, like we have big family feasts for Easter and Christmases and birthdays and whatnot. And our Greek Easter is not the same usually to the Australian Easter.
Hmm.
And just like last year, I remember to this day, it was my dad and my grandfather are like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "Oh, I'm here to have lunch." Like, "Yeah, we had lunch." And now I go back to work. You got a family to provide for. So they're very hard about that. And they don't want me to be so slow and lazy. They just want me to just keep going as hard as I can to provide the best life for me and for my family because that's just culturally how we are. And I
Hmm.
wouldn't change it.
Yeah, 100%. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. Um, talking about culture, right? You obviously have built a structure in. How much of that has come from what you was doing before in project management, the way you've structured the business and the way you kind of have everyone, working like they do?
Yeah. Um, to an extent, it has helped, but it's just been trial and error. That's for
Hmm.
sure. Um, the best thing that I have learnt in this industry, respectfully, is do not listen to people that haven't done it for themselves. And that was a really big mistake that I took early on during my career, was taking advice and constructive feedback from people from that haven't done it at all.
Hmm.
And the minute my perception of that changed, was completely different. I've always been someone that has said to myself, surround yourself with people that you want to be like. And when you're in a room, you want to be in a room and feel like you're the smallest one out of the whole lot, and just be a sponge, just absorb absolutely everything out from them, and just get little golden nuggets and use those golden nuggets into your business.
Yeah.
So that
It's
has
like
helped.
hire to fill gaps rather than hire to fit culture, essentially.
Literally, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What talking on that, like what in terms of not as a broker, but like as a leader, what things did you really have to learn in that journey where you were like, Jesus, this is not easy, right?
Mm. Um, Having emotional conversations with team members has been really hard, because I've always been somebody that would always want to keep everybody happy.
Hmm.
And that's great. But sometimes doing that to certain people can affect other people. So my biggest lesson I've learnt is just being straight down the line, being constructive and understanding what's right and what's wrong, and just being there for team members, because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, the business wouldn't be here without them. It's not just Emmanuel. It's not just Rihanna. Like, Dell is, yes, it's our business, but it wouldn't be here without the whole team.
Hmm.
And the minute
Agreed.
you understand that, and that aha moment clicks in, it's so much better.
Hmm.
Yeah.
A really good thing as well that you can use, right, is I always people say to me, should I use testing or this when I'm running a recruitment process? And I say, if you're going to use it to say no, don't do it. The best thing to do is when you offer someone the job and they're actually in the business, get them to do testing, understand their personality style, their communication style, right? Because that way, when you'll go into them with a problem or a solution or whatever it is, you know how it hits best with them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And he
Yeah.
can build a team where everyone understands this is how John communicates. So be a bit softer on X, Y, Z. Yeah.
100% for sure.
What would you say being a self-employed business owner as a broker, or like, how has it changed your life?
Um, Nothing is capped. Um, Whatever you do, what, whatever you do on a day by day will really impact your life. Like, the harder you work, obviously you're going to get rewarded. That's for sure. Um, doing the right thing by consumers and your clients and your brokers will reward you. But I've always been that type of person from growing up. I want to do something where the more I work, the more I'm going to earn, obviously, but level up as a person, because I
Hmm.
think that's really important. So that's something I would say, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Um, growing when you were talking about scaling the business, like, did it becoming a place where you wanted to employ lots of people just become a thing, or was that always the goal?
I've always wanted to create a legacy.
Hmm.
Like my father's business, he created legacy. So many
Hmm.
staff, massive company, um, on a national level, and I wanted to do the same thing as well. The aha moment for me was I got really ill quite a few years ago, and I couldn't work for like 2, 3 weeks. And during that time period when I wasn't working for the 2, 3 weeks, I realized the business wasn't working either.
Hmm.
So I wasn't running a business. I was the business itself, and that needed to change. So I started employing more staff, leveling up everybody within the company. Um, and the whole point was to grow the company to a level where we are represented nationally and have brokers in every state of Australia. And that's still the plan, that's for sure. Like, we're on growth stage, and I said to the team during our meeting on Wednesday, we're just getting started. Like I'm
Hmm.
super excited for next year. It's going to happen.
Yeah, because like Tasmania, very tight knit community, right? You know, it's is it the smallest market? What about bar probably Darwin, right?
Hmm.
But there's a lot of opportunity there, and there's a lot of good that comes out of it. So talking on legacy, like, are your legacy? You're thinking nationwide, like your dad did, but in Tasmania as well. Like, what's the legacy you want to build there? How do you want to have a real effect on that market?
Think like we've really done the effect in Tassie. That's for sure. I'll
Hmm.
be honest with you. Quite a few years ago, like Tassie's such a small area. Everyone knows each other. Everyone knows the local businesses. But surprisingly speaking, I'd say 60 to 70, I'd say 70 to 80% of our business is not in Tasmania.
Hmm.
It's Melbourne, Sydney, Queensland, South Australia, wherever the market's busy due to the power of social media. We get business nationally, but on a Tassie level, I feel like we're at that level where everyone knows who we are. Traditionally speaking, we're very community based, very big with charity events, sponsoring sporting teams and whatnot. That's obviously very special to hear, especially like we know like a family barbecue. Oh, what do you do? I do this. Oh, where do you work? Doing like, oh yeah, I know where you guys are. And
That's
hearing
cool.
that, it is nice. From starting from small business to where we're at the moment, very, very humble about that.
Hmm. I like
Yeah,
that. So when you were applying, were you applying? This is before you started the business. Were you applying to brokerages and broker offices around the country, around Tasmania? Sorry.
yeah. I was applying for companies around Australia, so all the big, medium, small, and boutique companies. I was applying. I'd say 90% weren't even returning my inquiry. The
Hmm.
10% that did just said, "Hey, not enough experience, or we don't have capacity growing, or you're too young." Uh, Heard it all. It was
Hmm.
such a stab in the heart because it was so exciting to wanting to get into this industry, completing my certificate for and whatnot, getting ready to go. Um, but I kept at it.
Hmm. Did you ever? Has anyone ever reached out and gone? I wish I would have given you a chance now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I won't name a name, but I actually had that conversation with somebody probably like 6 or 12 months ago. And they said, "I bloody wish I employed you."
It's
Um,
flattering in it at the end of the day. Like, you know.
Literally, literally, it's so funny because our industry in Tassie, everyone gets along, everyone likes each other. It's we don't see this competition, which is quite nice. So there's no bad blood there, but I have had that conversation. Funny that
Hmm.
you've just brought that up.
Yeah. No. It popped up in my mind because I thought, you know, if you've been knocking on doors, like, I'm sure in such a tight knit place, it's going to come back around that someone goes, "Fuck,
Yeah,
I wish I took you on." Yeah.
literally,
But
literally.
that's like, I would see that, for if it was me, as the highest form of flattery, right? Like, that's when you're like, yeah, okay, I've actually done something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, look, and it's one of them, right? Going back to what you said about the geographical thing. You know, in this world that we live in today, it doesn't matter where you are, right? People just want the right advice. You can get the right advice from someone interstate in a different country. It doesn't really matter, but as long as you're getting the right advice.
yeah, absolutely. I'd say like this day and age, if you're a young broker, it's accepted now in our industry because there's so many young male and female solo brokers getting into this industry at a daily basis. And it's lovely to see that it's accepted. Where when I started, it was nothing like that. It was like,
Hmm.
no, you got to be a banker. No, you got to be a grumpy old man. You got to be at least 40 plus to come into this industry, not on an aggregation level, but on a consumer side of things for them to actually wanting to use you.
Hmm.
They always ask, "Oh, how experienced are you? How many home loans have you done?" Now it's completely different with the power of social media. Like you can put like a phone out and do a TikTok video and go viral, and bang, there's like 15 inquiries the following day just from one video. So I feel like it's more accepted now,
Hmm.
which is good to see.
Yeah, and people are starting to adopt it as well, right? Because like I've noticed a lot of the older brokers say, "Oh no, I don't want to get into that stuff," and then but it's like the Gen Z and this just generation, they're the ones who are going to have this transfer of wealth, right? So why are you not positioning yourself early that these are the people that are going to be your clients?
I always say, if you don't do it, I'm gonna get a lot of hate here, but I don't care.
Hmm.
If if you don't do it, you will be left behind in this industry. Like, it's no doubt about it. The amount of consumers going on Instagram and TikTok and using that platform as Google is crazy. It got to one point where TikTok was the biggest search engine above Google. And if they're doing that for home loans and they see some education pieces by somebody providing content about home loans, the chances of them going to that particular broker is a lot higher than traditional broker who puts their suit and tie on or dress on and just goes to work 9 to 5 and has no social presence.
Hmm.
It's a feature of our industry. It's set it from day one.
Hmm.
And that's why we're in the position we're in at the moment due to social media.
Yeah. And it's not even like the sales side of it and the lead generation side of it. It's the building trust with people who feel like they already know you when you come through the door. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Because a lot of your TikToks educational and silly. That's the silly in a good way. That's the avenue you go down, right? Like what better ways to connect with people? You understand the personality. They're not, they take the piss a little bit. But when I need them to switch on and give me good advice, they're gonna do that too. Right. You already
Absolutely.
feel comfortable speaking to people when you have that, you know,
And the
rapport with
amount
them.
of times that consumers say to you, like, I feel like I know you because I've been watching you for the past 6 to 12 months. I know you don't know me, but I know who you are, Emmanuel. I know what your son's name is. I know where you live. I know your wife's name. Like, just like different things. Like, they know you and they feel so comfortable to use you because they've been watching you for such a long period of time. And that
Mhm.
trust is there. And it's so powerful to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because like what you do is a sales job, what I do is a sales job, but I hate calling it that, right? You know, I hate the idea of it's me picking up the phone, cold calling, hey mate, I'm running it as like I've got a pipeline. For me, it's all about just hoping I've got that trust early and knowing them already going. Do you know what? Like you said, I've watched you. I know your family. I know your name. I know the business. You are going to solve the problem that I already have. I
correct.
can see that you've been doing it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's on for Christmas? Big Greek happenings, is it?
Yes, we were very fortunate enough that we bought our
I got you back now. Don't stress.
oh, cool. Um, we've agreed to host our um, big fat Greek Christmas at our house this year, so it's gonna be
Nice.
hectic. That's for sure. Yeah.
Don't regret it, right? Because I'm very much the same. I always put the hand up to host, and then as soon as it's on the way up, I'm like, oh shit.
I love it. I always complain to everyone that I don't, but deep down, I love it. There's nothing better than going to your house and having all your family and friends just there smiling. It's why we do it.
Well, that's it, right? You don't appreciate that stuff, but some people can never do that. You know what I mean? Like, so you gotta love it whilst you got it. But
Exactly right.
yeah, other than the big family gathering, have you got anything planned? Or are you just gonna take it easy?
Christmas time, we're going to take it pretty easy. We'll probably shut the office for a couple of weeks. We've got a lot of
Hmm.
new team members starting in January, so we've got our marketing in-house marketing team starting. So we've got our a couple videographers, video editors, and whatnot working in-house where we used to offshore that. So getting them prepared has been quite exciting, and it's something that we've been planning for the past 3 to 6 months. But January is the locking date for them to start. And then obviously organizing a separate office for them because we're going to have our own office for the media team. So knowing
Studio
me,
and whatnot there.
yeah, 100%, we're just probably just going to, I'll probably work during that period of time. I love it. I love what I do. I get up early every morning, not because I need to, it's because I want to. I still get the
Hmm.
buzz. I always say it, and everyone says it. I sweat it now that I did at the very start of the business.
I thought you was gonna say that thing. Don't what is it? Don't love your job, job your love.
Yeah. It's true though. It's so true.
Yeah, as stupid as it is, it's true though, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. The minute you stop thinking that this is a job, the quicker you are going to achieve what you want to achieve in life. It's a
There is a
lifestyle industry.
yeah, there is a flip side to that, right? It's like the flip side of it is like if I go for a shower at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and I come out and I put my towel on, I'll get back in front of the computer and start and carry on working, right? But I actually enjoy it. You know what I mean? I think that's what I think. You know, there is work life balance, but I think you need to be prepared that they are going to
Correct.
cross. They are
Correct.
intertwined. It's not one or the other. It's an intertwined thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mate, well, look, I just want to say thank you for coming in here and sharing your story. It's definitely one of
Appreciate
the
it.
more interesting and good ones to have. And I think, you know, a lot of the people that, if there's people listening to this that are not averse to TikTok and that marketing, that they'll hopefully go and have a look at what you guys are doing and really, really get behind it because it is the future.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Speak
Thanks,
soon.
Joe. Have a good one,
Cheers,
buddy.
man. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
You too.